and I miss a lot of years. But like I say, I've only got a week left at work next week, and I can start doing it more times where hopefully we can get more interaction in the afternoon and stuff like that. But this is literally the only time I get when I'm during my working hours. So we had the news last night. All the channels covered it. The bid was accepted, 55 million for Mohamed Kudus, which is absolutely ridiculous price, to be honest with you. Very disappointed with that fee. I think we should have been pushing for around a 65 mil mark. By all accounts, apparently he handed in a transfer request. Whether that's true or not, who knows. Then there was loads of rumours about a 40 million loan needed to be paid off, and the Vlasic money needed to be paid off. It's just not a good time to be a West Ham fan at the moment. It really isn't. Listen, I wasn't too bothered about Kudus going. I'll be honest with you. I know a few channels are like, yeah, I want him staying, and another few channels saying want him to go. I wasn't that bothered. Because there is someone like Somerville who can do that job, and he wasn't that effective last year. That wasn't his fault. He was played out of position. His best position is the right wing, cutting in, pushing in. He was played on the left, and he was wasted there. That's not his fault that he wasn't as effective as he was last season. These people have got to stop shouting. So yeah, I'm not that bothered that he went to Spurs either. I don't like Spurs. I think it's just more the fact that we've had our pants pulled down over the price. If it would have been 65 million and he went to Spurs, it would have been okay. Listen, he's gone there, but we've got decent money for him. Really, to be honest with you guys, this video is more about where we are. We've let a hell of a lot of players go. Cresswell, Danny Ings, Soufal, Antonio, unless he comes back, which I don't want. Please believe me, I do not want that. And I don't think Kudus will be the last sale. I think Alvarez will go. Paquetá will go if he's found not guilty. Fulcro, loads of rumours that he could be surplus to requirements. Then you've got a Gerd. You got, not that he does anything corny. And then how are you going to rebuild that? You're not going to rebuild that with the 50 million from Kudus. Juve comes in, that's 20 million. That leaves you with 30. There's not a lot of money left to rebuild. Like I say, with those sales, it would raise a lot of funds. But again, you get in the situation then like Forest were a couple of years ago, where you might have to bring in 10 players, and then they don't all gel, and it becomes a real struggle. I think we're going to struggle anyway. I really do. I don't think we've got enough. Listen, I'm excited to see Potts, and I'm excited to see Earthy back if they stay and are not loaned out. I'm excited to see them, but we can't rely on them. And we certainly can't rely on a midfielder, James Ward-Prowse and Thomas Soucek again. We've seen what happens when they play together. Together they're too slow, they're too immobile, and midfield is the key in the Premier League. It's where games are won and lost. That's why Newcastle was so good. Newcastle are arguably the best midfield in the league, like as a collective unit. Tonali, Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes. It's where you win, and West Ham are lacking that. We desperately, if we sell Paquetá, we need a really good creative midfielder. If we sell Alvarez, we need a destroyer. If we sell a Gerd, we'll probably need a cover centre half. I can't see. West Ham are not good enough, and we take so long identifying targets and scouting players that it's worrying. It's worrying. We're going to be in a relegation battle next season. Anything above that will be a bonus, I think, the way the team looks at the minute. I just can't believe how backwards we've gone in the space of winning that trophy. Rice leaves. We have poor season, but an okay Europa League campaign, only to be beaten by, the freak of a season that Bayer Leverkusen was having. Last season just gone, change of manager, doesn't work. Potter, again, doesn't inspire me with any confidence whatsoever. A good manager, Nick says it, and my mate, who's a Newcastle fan as well, he says it as well. Good manager can do the best with what he's got. That's one thing, you would give Moyes. If Moyes, I wasn't Moyes' fan at all, but, if he would have come in to West Ham, let's pretend he had never managed West Ham before. and he came in after Lopetegui, he would have got a tune and sorted us out to some extent. Harry Redknapp was very good at that, and Eddie Howe is the master of being able to work with what he's got and improve what he's got. Joe Linton is the biggest example of that, and people like Dan Burns. We need a manager who can work with what he's got, improve what he's got, use youth players. I don't like this idea of buying players for Potter to suit him when the man's got a break in his contract in the summer next year. And he'd probably gone before then anyway, because I can't see us starting the season well. What evidence is there that West Ham are going to have this upturning form from what was last season and, be able to put a good run together and maybe sort of be around 12th, between 12th and, I don't know, and 8th? Because that would be where West Ham want to be, sort of on the cusp of getting Conference League again. There's no evidence for it, for me. I don't see how it changes. I think if it was me, again, I hope I'm proven wrong. Because that means West Ham were doing well and we're all having a bit of fun in the season. But for me personally, I think Potter will be gone by Christmas, and then God knows who's going to be in after that. Would it be Dyche? Would we go for Postecoglou and just completely throw it all up, and just go, oh, God, then we'll play attacking football? Who knows? It's worrying. It's very worrying. The Kudus thing, as a singular, doesn't bother me too much, but it's what's going to happen now, between now and when that transfer window closes, or more importantly, when the start of the season starts. What we're going to see, I think it's going to be a very predictable lineup. If I had to predict West Ham's lineup for the first game of the season, it would be, if we don't sign a goalkeeper before then, it'd be Ariola in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Kilman, probably Mavropanos and Tobido. Let's put Juve in at left wing back, Soucek, Ward-Prowse, Bowen. God knows who up front, because if Fulkrug goes, and then God knows on the left. That's really how it is at the minute. That is how it is. Let's hope people like Potts and Earthy have amazing pre-season and get themselves into Potter's mind, so we can at least have that as a positive. We'll have some young players to watch and that get the club and are West Ham fans. But it's worrying. It's worrying times. We need to, if you made it this far, please go and sign that petition that Claret and Booze are running, bsout.com I think it is, or .org, I can't remember the full title. It's on our TikTok page, and I posted it on Twitter last night as well. Go and sign that, because that gets to 10k, as Nick said. That's when the media get hold of it, and protests can potentially start. We need to get them out of our club. They can't take us any further. They're taking us backwards. He doesn't care anymore. He don't care about the fans. He never has cared about the fans. We'll be here when he's gone, but we've still got to live with the the decisions and ramifications of the things that he's done to West Ham over the years, and we've got to get them out of this club. It's painful. I see no progression and no way West Ham can become anything but just dull and numb. But how many people actually care about the start of the season? How many people are excited for the start of the season? I'm not. I'm dreading it. I'm absolutely dreading it. Anyway, I've got to leave it there, because I've got to go to work. So, thank you if you've watched live. Please hit the like button before you leave. And yeah, if you're new around here and you made it to the end, please subscribe. Come on, you irons. Keep believing as hard as it is. Let's go.